So good morning students. Today we are going to see our second lesson, that is packing. Yes, the title is very common and quite familiar also to all of us. The lesson packing is written by Jerome K. Jerome, one of the greatest writer of his time. Actually, this lesson, it is a story of three friends. Narrator himself, George and Harris. These three friends. This lesson is an excerpt from Three Men in a Boat. These three friends, they decided to go to a trip, and actually their journey, it was by boat. So they all decided, it was finalized to go to picnic. For that purpose, they have started their packing. Just the common thing, the common situation, that as anybody when wants to go out somewhere for the picnic or some celebrations, then just the common essential things which we need, we used to pack it in a bag, in a suitcase, that is luggage. The same thing is here, but how differently these three characters, they packed their things, and how perfectly the narrator has expressed in this way. Writer has quite humorously has expressed this scene. Now, as unanimously decided that the packing, as these three friends, they were living together, the packing, the process has been started. Now the narrator, he feels quite proud of packing. He told them that he was the best packer. He was boasting actually. Every statement of the narrator, it was quite an exaggerating statement. He told his two friends that always he used to pack. He was the best packer. But reality is very different. He only showed them the way. He only told them how to pack. But he didn't. He told George and Harris to pack the essential things which are required for them, and just he sat silently and looked towards them. But to show them his greatness in the field of packing, he started the packing, and in one of the luggage he put all the essential things. He was quite proud of himself, of his quality of packing. But when he saw that his two friends, George and Harris, both of them were sitting silently and looked towards him, he feels quite nervous and become angry on them also. At last, the narrator has completed his packing. Then his friend George reminded him, had he packed his boots or not? The writer didn't remind about the boots, had he packed it or not. So he unpacked the bag and find out the boots, and again repacked it. It took some time. These things make him very nervous, quite angry also. But again he repacked it and sat silently. Then the narrator himself reminds another thing, that he didn't recognize had he packed his toothbrush or not, because the toothbrush is the essential things which he required early in the morning, and the toothbrush is the thing which always put the writer into the trouble. So he again and again thinks over the toothbrush, but he didn't recognize anything. So he again unpacked the bag and started to find out the toothbrush. But he didn't find it out. At last what happened? Do you know? At last, for the amazement, means anyone can surprise on this, that the narrator has found out his toothbrush into the boots. Yeah, into the shoes. It was very surprising and quite ridiculous also. The things like toothbrush, no one can put into the shoes. But the narrator, the great person who always thinks that the best packer in this world, at last he again repacked his bag, and quite he was tired now. So he asked the George and the Harris to pack the remaining things. Now what left? Few of the hampers now left for the George and Harris. Now George and Harris, they started the packing. They put the hampers and the essential things, they put into the bags and packed it. And for the surprise, George sat on that bag and told the narrator that he has packed each and everything perfectly into the bag without breaking anything. Actually everything has been broken now, because he sat on that bag. At last, both of them, narrator, George and Harris, were tired and they decided to sleep. For their surprise, just they decided another member of their family, yes, their pet dog, Montmorency came there. This dog, he troubled again them. Quite unruly dog. Whatever the things they have packed nicely, perfectly, just this dog has reshuffled all these things. It was the quality of that dog. If he didn't do such things, he thought that his day has been wasted. At last the narrator, George and Harris, both of them decided to sleep now. By this 11:30, the work of packing it continued for so long. Such a simple thing, packing, but it has taken such a great time. Now the narrator asked them to wake him early in the morning, as they wanted to go to trip, but before that, at the morning, he wanted to write a letter. So he asked the Harris and the George to wake him early, and they responded. Harris responded, but the George was quite tired. Now he slept. Writer and Harris, both of them were very nervous that he slept there. Before that, George and Harris, they quarreled over the bed, where to sleep. Actually, George wanted to sleep with the narrator on that bed. Writer at anyhow tried to console them and told them that it was quite late for us. We have to wake up early in the morning also, because we have to start early for the trip. So it is better for us to sleep as early as possible. If we take a sound sleep, then only it will be possible for us to wake up early in the morning and our trip will be quite fruitful for us. It is just a simple story by the writer Jerome K. Jerome from Three Men in a Boat. The topic is the title, but particularly the title packing is very appropriate, a simple one, day to day use, but the way the writer has expressed the story quite humorously of these three friends, it is very interesting one. Thank you, friends.